We played rock and roll music back in '65. The girls would follow us around. We wore shoulder-length hair and skin-tight pants, and man, we had a groovy sound. But now our hair's falling out and our skin tights don't fit. The girls are just giggle and snicker. We used to be the group called Electric Soul, but now we're just the Chapel Hill Pickers. Well, the crowd would go wild when we'd play Louie Louie. We'd turn the volume up on 10. But we traded off our amps and our electric guitars. We'd just sit around with pick and grin. We'd play the Wildwood Flowers and You're Cheating Hard. We'll sing about divorce and liquor. We used to be the group called Electric Soul, but now we're just the Chapel Hill Pickers. We used to make our gigs in a chartered Greyhound, but our image changed and then what luck? Well, we found us a bargain in the classified ads. We bought us a tater chip truck. We got our name and phone number painted on the side, along with George Wallace stickers. We used to be the group called Electric Soul, but now we're just the Chapel Hill Pickers. One more time. We used to be the group called Electric Soul, but now we're just the Chapel Hill Pickers.
Oh, I'm proud to live in Marshall County. Those other counties can't compare with us. But I must repeat what's been happening in our county seat. My gosh, it's really causing quite a fuss. Whoa, the interstate is coming through my outhouse. They tell me I'm on their right of way. I'll sell today and I'll get rich, but my path will end at the highway ditch. I'm making my last visit there today. Granny says to cancel Sears and Roebuck. Tell Uncle Sam to hurry up the door. With all this progress coming, we'll change the inside plumbing and shorten up our early morning stroll. Whoa. Uncle Bill has got a case of miseries. A hike into that outhouse makes him tired. But he'll be a-getting better. He'll be an inside setter when they install that cesspool in the yard. Whoa, the interstate is coming through my outhouse. They tell me I'm on their right of way. I'll sell today and I'll get rich, but my path will end at the highway ditch. I'm making my last visit there today. Them engineers made 47 surveys. They said to put it there and that was that. They'll bring a big steamroller and flatten my two-holer, but I'll keep right on voting Democrat. Whoa, someday when I grow old and tired and weary, some moonlit night I'll wake up feeling strange. I'll finish up my bath and stroll down my old path and wake up in a great big interchange. Whoa, the interstate is coming through my outhouse. They tell me I'm on their right of way. I'll sell today and I'll get rich, but my path will end at the highway ditch. I'm making my last visit there today. Oh yes, I'm making my last visit there today. Whoa, the interstate is coming through my outhouse. They tell me I'm on their right of way. I'll sell today and I'll get rich, but the path will end at the highway ditch. I'm making my last visit there today.
Well, when I was a young man still in school, I worked on the farm. I was stout as a mule, what any full-grown man did I thought I could do. I was tough as leather and about half mean. I'd rather fight than eat ice cream, but I met my match when I took my first chew. We was hauling hay one hot July. Was kind of smarting off of this old guy who was driving the tractor. His name was Mr. Hugh. He spit on the ground, said, "You young punk, I know you think that you're pretty tough, but you ain't no man till you took your first chew. Well, I'm as much as a man as you'll ever see. Give that chewing tobacco here to me. Thought if old man Hugh could chew, then I could too." He pulled out a sack of Tennessee twist. He broke off a hunk as big as your fist, and that's the day when I took my first chew. With the chew in my jaw, went back to work when the darned old tractor gave a jerk, swallowed all that old brown juice in the back of two. I coughed, I spit, I gagged, I groaned like a dog strangled on a chicken bone that terrible day when I took my first chew. Then the whole wide world started spinning around. I got so dizzy I had to sit down, and looking back at me with a grin was old man Hugh. My stomach did flips, I almost cried. I thought for a while I was gonna die that horrible day when I took my first chew. The little beads of sweat popped out on me. I crawled like a baby to the nearest tree, and there laughing and slapping his knee was old man Hugh. Oh, but I didn't care, I'd done turned green. I was the sickest thing you've ever seen that awful day when I took my first chew. In the shade of that tree I laid tonight, and even then I didn't feel right. I stayed in bed with the heaves for a day or two. Once I drunk hard liquor that would curl your hair. I smoked cedar bark, but it didn't compare with that awful day when I took my last chew. I got a Dear John letter this morning from my sweetheart Betty Lou. She told me she was tired of me and she found somebody new. I'll never get over losing her, no matter what I do, 'cause I'm stuck here with her memory and this old tattoo. I could search around for another girl by the name of Betty Lou, but after loving her so long, no other Betty Lou will do. A long sleeve shirt or a band-aid might hide what makes me blue, but it won't remove her memory or this old tattoo. Her name enclosed within a heart won't disappear or fade. I never thought that we would part when I had it made. How can I forget the past and find somebody new when I'm haunted by her memory and this old tattoo? Well, I guess I'm like the farmer who was milking his cow, old Sag. A storm came up, lightning struck the cow. The farmer's left holding the bag. Now Betty Lou's gone to greener pastures, and now that we are through, I'm left here holding memories and this old tattoo. Her name enclosed within a heart won't disappear or fade. I never thought that we would part when I had it made. How can I forget the past and find somebody new when I'm left here holding memories and this doggone tattoo? He put a pistol to his brow and said, "It's all over now," then pull the trigger. And it's hard to explain what was running through his brain. I've tried to figure, and my memory wanders back, wondering where he got off track and I finally found the answer to the rhyme. He had everything in life, a fine home and loving wife, but he never had that blessed peace of mind. She looks like a movie queen, the prettiest girl I've ever seen. Every man's head turns when she goes walking by. She's got style and she's got grace, a shapely figure, a pretty face, but isn't that a teardrop in her eye? She's not happy down inside, it's a loneliness that she can't hide. I look at her and can't help but wonder why. She's got furs and diamond rings, fancy cars and all those things, but she doesn't have that blessed peace of mind. Peace of mind is like pure gold, but it's something you can't hold. And peace of mind is something you can't see. And it's something you can't buy, although many people try. Peace of mind is absolutely free. Feel the minutes and the hours, taking time to smell the flowers. I think of it this way from time to time. It's just knowing where you stand in God's universal plan. That's the secret to blessed peace of mind. It's just knowing where you stand in God's universal plan. That's a secret to blessed peace of mind. Well, I was bumming around in Lewisburg, getting kinda hot and tired. So I took the seat beneath the big shade tree in the Marshall County Courthouse yard. There was men standing round in overalls, their pockets filled with merchandise. They was chewing tobacco, whittling cedar, telling jokes and swapping knives. Well, an old man walked up to me, carving on a piece of wood. Said, "Hey, young feller, how you trade on knives?" And the one he had looked good. Well, I looked it over and I gave it back. He said, "Hold on, son, I got more." He pulled out a sack filled with knives. He looked like a walking store, and here's what he said. "What do you give me for a tree brand poker with a tree on every blade? Here's a John D. Primble and a genuine Barlow, and I and a kissing crane. Here's a double X case and an old hen rooster, a queen and an old town straight. I make no money on my knives, I just like to trade." Well, I reached down into my blue jeans and I pulled out my old knife. I figured that it wasn't worth much, I'd carried it half my life. But when he offered me a brand new knife for my old piece of blade, I thought to myself, "You old fool, yes sir, it's a deal, I'll trade." Well, the old man kind of chuckled as he walked away from me. He didn't have nothing to laugh about as far as I could see. When I saw a fella give him $50 for that old knife of mine, I recollected every word in that old knife swapper's line. Here's what he said again. "What you give me for a tree brand poker with a tree on every blade? Here's a John D. Primble and a genuine Barlow, and I and a kissing crane. Here's a double X case and an old hen rooster, a queen and an old time trade. I make no money on my knives, I just like to trade." Yo, liar. Hey, boys. Thanks, Jim, I got it. Oh, we're big country pickers. We got callous fingers, and we're sometimes loved everywhere we go. We sing about liquor and we sing about milk, and sometimes we get paid for our show.
We drink all kind of liquors, give us all kind of flickers, but the flickers we've never known is the flicker that'll get you when you get your picture on the cover of Country Hit. Country Hit. Wanna see my picture on the cover? Wanna buy 5 copies for my mother? Wanna see my smiling face on the cover of Country Hit?
Pick it, Phil.
Thanks, Jim.
Same one.
We got this old heifer named Sarah Fletcher, and she sews sequins on the back of her coat. We got this old granddad out back with a brand spanking new motorboat. Smooth, huh? We got it all designed to blow our minds, but our minds won't never be blown like the blow that'll get you when you get your picture on the cover of Country Hit. Country Hit. Wanna see my picture on the cover? Wanna buy 5 copies for my mother? Wanna see my smiling face on the cover of Country Hit? Country Hit. Wanna see my picture on the cover? Try harder. Try harder. Almost there on the cover. Here we go. Cover of Country Hit. On the cover of Country Hit. On the cover of Country Hit.
I was walking down the road from my grandma's house to the Caney Springs General Store. I held my head up high, better than thou look, a know-it-all city boy. I was staying all night with Grandma, a real Dragon A1 boy. But I was happy when she told me to run a little errand to the Caney Springs General Store. At the corner of the store, man was pitching horseshoes, having a hot contest. I walked up proud, sizing up the crowd, and I could tell that I was the best. I spied a country boy eating sardines and crackers, sitting on a dusty car hood. I said, "You want to play a game?" And he said, "I guess so, but let me warn you, I'm not too good." Well, we found us a pit and played a practice round, and old country couldn't find the range. I felt Granny's grocery money jingling in my pocket, so I challenged him $1 a game. He said, "I can play 3 games, but then I gotta go. I should have been home by now." Thought to myself, you be wishing you was when I get through cleaning your plow. Then we played for real, and it was easy pickings, cause I skunked him 11-0. I got greedy all over as he handed me $1, and the crowd began to grow. And the second game was just like the first. I skunked old country again. He said, "I might as well just lose it all, unless you and I play for a team." He said, "Okay, country," as I aimed through his shoe and stepped forward with a dead-eyed throw. I saw some old men kind of punching each other, like they knew something I didn't know. He threw 3 straight ringers and a 3-point leaner, so I could even turn around. I knew right then Caney Spring loved the circus, and they appointed me the clown. I could hear them laughing as I left the store, and not a grocer to my name. Granny met me on the front porch steps, and you should have heard me explain. I told her about old country boy, how he laid a perfect trap. She said, "You fool, you've been taken in by the Caney Springs General Store champ." Many years ago along the railroad track one night, a man was walking home and held a lantern for his light. He never heard the whistle scream or the mighty engine pound. He never even knew it when that freight train ran him down. The engineer ran back in time to see the poor man die. But as he neared the tragic spot, a light rose in the sky. The lamp the man had carried was never found that night. Now the old folks say above the track his lantern shining bright, and still his lantern hangs over the railroad, watching every freight train go by. There's a ghost light over the railroad, shining in the Chapel Hill sky. Looking at the ghost light will make your blood run cold. It moves along the railroad track and haunts your very soul. A spirit holds a lantern high for all the world to see. For the old ghost light of Chapel Hill remains a mystery. And still his lantern hangs over the railroad, watching every freight train go by. There's a ghost light over the railroad, shining in the Chapel Hill sky. And still his lantern hangs over the railroad, watching every freight train go by. There's a ghost light over the railroad, shining in the Chapel Hill sky. Shining in the Chapel Hill sky. Shining in the Chapel Hill sky. Shining in the They passed an ordinance in the town that said we'd have to tear it down. That little old house out back so dear to me. Though the health department said its day was over and dead, it will live forever in my memory. Don't let them tear that little brown building down. Don't let them tear that precious building down. Don't let them tear that little brown building down. For there's not another like it in the country or the town. Wasn't many years ago when I'd go tripping through the snow to that little old house behind my old hound dogs. There I'd sit me down to rest like a snowbird on his nest and read the Sears and Roebuck catalog. I would hum a happy tune peeping through the quarter moon as my daddy's kin had done in years before. It was just a quiet spot where daily cares could be forgot, and it gave the same relief to rich and poor. Don't let them tear that little brown building down. Don't let them tear that precious building down. Don't let them tear that little brown building down. For there's not another like it in the country or the town. Well, it wasn't a castle fair, but I could dream a future there and build my castles to the yellow jacket's drone. I could orbit around the sun, fight with General Washington, or be a king upon a royal throne. Wasn't fancy built at all, it had newspapers on the wall. It was air conditioned in the winter time. It was just a humble hut, but the doors were never shut, and a man could get inside without a dime. Don't let them tear that little brown building down. Don't let them tear that precious building down. Don't let them tear that little brown building down. For there's not another like it in the country or the town. Cousin Billy was looking for a snatch, so we made our way to a watermelon patch. Loaded Cousin Billy's old pickup down, and we hauled them melons to the nearest town. Well, we sold them melons in the heat of the day, then we saw the farmer coming, but we got away. He shot at us with a 44. Folks ain't got a sense of humor no more. Folks ain't got a sense of humor no more. They don't laugh, they just get sore. Just to have a little fun is a doggone chore, 'cause folks ain't got a sense of humor no more. Me and brother Jimmy was a-fishing one day. Wasn't catching nothing, so we put our poles away. Went to the barn while the sun was still bright and brought back a case of Daddy's dynamite. Well, we blowed that fishing hole to kingdom come. Then we saw the warden coming and away we run. He ran us all the way to our front door. Folks ain't got a sense of humor no more. Folks ain't got a sense of humor no more. They don't laugh, they just get sore. Just to have a little fun is a doggone chore, 'cause folks ain't got a sense of humor no more. Well, the circus came to town, me and Cousin David went. Never had we seen such a great big tent. We saw the clowns and the elephants led by the band. Then me and Cousin David came up with a plan. Cut the ropes to the tent and the tent fell down. You should have seen the folks crawling and rolling on the ground. They cussed us and told us we was rotten to the core. Folks ain't got a sense of humor no more. Folks ain't got a sense of humor no more. They don't laugh, they just get sore. Just to have a little fun is a doggone chore, 'cause folks ain't got a sense of humor no more. Me and Uncle Buddy was a-drinking one night. Walked in a truck stop to get a little bite. Ordered up a helping of taters and beans from the cutest little waitress we ever had seen. I could tell Uncle Buddy was a-feeling his beer when he reached around and pinched that cutie on the rear. She hauled off and slapped Uncle Buddy in the floor. Folks ain't got a sense of humor no more. Folks ain't got a sense of humor no more. They don't laugh, just get sore. Just to have a little fun is a doggone chore, 'cause folks ain't got a sense of humor no more. Now Joshua, the leader of the Israelite band, was leading his people to the promised land. When the mighty walls of Jericho came into view, old Josh cried, "Lord, what you want me to do?" "Lead your people 7 times around and tell them all to shout when the trumpet sounds." Now they obeyed God and shouted on the trumpet's blast, and the mighty walls of Jericho shattered like glass. When the Holy Spirit gets a hold of you, it ain't nothing in this world that you can't do. Gives you strength and power plumb through and through. When the Holy Spirit gets a hold of you. Well, Goliath was a great big Philistine giant. He claimed he could whip any Israelite. When the big giant spoke, men run and hid. But here's what the shepherd boy David did. He picked up a pebble from a nearby stream and he placed it in the web of his tiny sling. God made the difference in the strength and size, 'cause the rock struck the giant right between the eyes. When the Holy Spirit gets a hold of you, it ain't nothing in this world that you can't do. Gives you strength and power plumb through and through. When the Holy Spirit gets a hold of you. Than a grizzly bear. The strength God gave him wasn't his long hair, but he was tricked by Delilah, who was tender and soft. When he fell asleep, she cut his long hair off. He was captured by the enemy and tortured so, but the Philistines didn't notice his hair grow. They mocked God and treated poor Samson like a clown, but the fun all stopped when the roof came down. When the Holy Spirit gets a hold of you, it ain't nothing in this world that you can't do. Gives you strength and power plumb through and through. When the Holy Spirit gets a hold of you. When the Holy Spirit gets a hold of you, it ain't nothing in this world that you can't do. Gives you strength and power plumb through and through. When the Holy Spirit gets a hold of you. When the Holy Spirit gets a hold of you, it ain't nothing in this world that you can't do. Gives you strength and... It's just knowing where you stand in God's universal plan. That's a secret to blessed peace of mind.